Hello once again, and welcome to the Clear Skies Retirement Podcast with Jay Kirkwood of Secure Financial Management. Jay is here helping people in the retirement space. You wonder what you're going to do in retirement. You know you're going to get some kind of Social Security, but how much? Actually, right now in Congress, there is an act called You Earned It, You Keep It. And if that passes, that will do exactly what President Trump wants, and that is eliminate taxes on Social Security. So we don't know if any of this stuff is going to happen. We've talked about that. The campaign promises are one thing. Implementation is another. And it might take a year or two, or maybe even longer, or maybe it never happens. So this is a topic you and I have dived into a lot, is the unsteadiness and insecurity of Social Security. And the fact that maybe in 2033, that check gets cut back by 20%. Is that something that you're planning around right now and saying, okay, so we've got 5 years to plan here, we got another few years here, and in 2033, we may see an income decline, so we got to kick in more income. Is that a part of the income planning right now?
Yeah, so let's talk about that, and let's talk about the whole Social Security kind of environment and taxes and all that sort of stuff, because it's pretty common that when we're going through our planning process with clients, they think Social Security already is tax-free.
Okay, all right.
So when you hear about this bill going through Congress or Trump talking about it, it's like, wait a second, what's going on here? It's not tax. Didn't I already pay a tax into this to get this money? You know, that's. I mean, I get it. I'd feel the same way. I'm probably going to be a little bit off with these numbers here or there because I'm just doing it from memory, but it's something like if you're an individual tax filer and you make over, I think it's $34,000 a year, yeah, 85% of that Social Security benefit will be taxable. So it's not taxed at 85%, right? But 85%. So just real simple math, right? Your benefit's $1,000, 850 of it goes towards taxable income. And then if you're a married couple, maybe, you know, I think it's 44,000. If you're a married couple, you hit that 85% threat. And, you know, those aren't exactly large numbers, right? Before you're getting to that 85% tax bracket. So it is taxable. A second point, this might help somebody out, because we get ahead of it with our clients now, but every now and then we'll have someone new come in and we'll say to them, hey, you know, how much are you withholding from Social Security for your taxes? I say, oh, well, you know, I don't know, just whatever they're withholding. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. If you don't tell them to withhold something, they don't withhold anything, right? And then you end up with this tax bill at the end of the year. As far as the planning around, what you're talking about basically is Social Security running out, right? And the planning that can be done around that. It's not that there's not planning done for it. And this question comes up with everybody, right? Everybody is concerned, especially, you know, if you're 55, if you're 60, if you're 65, you're either eligible to take your Social Security or you're getting within striking distance of being able to do it. And for a lot of people, it's going to make up a fairly substantial portion of their income that's coming in. You know, if it's a married couple and their benefits $2,500 each, well, I mean, that's $5,000, right? And if you need $8,000 a month, I'm just making up numbers here, right? You need $8,000 a month to live on. Well, you know, whatever it is, that's 2/3 or something of the income there that you're going to be getting. It's quite a bit. So it's understandable and natural to be like, hey, this is going to be a pretty big deal if it goes away or it gets cut by 20%, 30%, whatever it might be. We don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
So can we implement plans showing, hey, in 2030 or 2032, this benefit gets reduced? How do I pick it up? Yeah, we can. I mean, that's easy to do in the planning process. The bigger thing is we don't think it's going to happen. There's actually, and I'm not going to have the same conversation with you that we have with clients in the office here. There's a lot of things that can be done to stabilize the Social Security program. None of them are very particularly popular. So do you think anyone's going to really deal with it until the last second when they actually have no choice whatsoever? Probably that's what's going to happen. I'm sure it is, right?
Raising taxes is one of them, yeah.
Raising taxes is one of them.
Yeah.
The easiest way that they can stabilize it is, so your full retirement age used to be 65. Okay? And then it's something like if you were born between I think it was 1954 and 1959, they said Now it's 66, and then if you're born in 1955, 66 and 2 months, and it kind of graduates up until 1960, birth year of 1960, and now it's 67. Now, I think they did that in the 80s. I think they changed that. It hasn't been changed since. Okay? So my full retirement age is 67. My 2-year-old full retirement age is also 67, right? That's probably going to change.
Right.
And that makes a pretty big difference. Now, the concern people have when I start talking about this is like, oh, well, if I'm going to retire next year and I'm 63, right now I can take it, but, are they going to move it? It would be shocking if they didn't go down to like people that are 30 years old right now and say, hey, you guys, first of all, you're not really paying attention to what we're doing. So we can kind of mess with your numbers a bit more, right? And hey, and I'm just going to make up numbers here, right? Okay. If you were born 1985 or later, well, now your full retirement age, it's 68. And 1986, 68 and 2 months. And I'm just, it could be whatever. I'm just trying to paint a picture here. That would help stabilize the program pretty quick, right? I really would doubt that it would be, hey, you're 60 years old. Well, guess what? Your age is getting changed. I don't think they're going to do that to people that are very close. That's one thing that can be done. Right now, I think it's about the 160,000, I think is the cap, or somewhere around there, on the taxes, that Social Security taxes you pay in your earnings. So if you make $100,000, you're paying Social Security on all of them. You make 150, you're paying Social Security on all of them. You make 200, well, that last 40,000 or so that you're making, you're not paying Social Security taxes on, right?
And I never understood that. I never get that.
Yeah, it was something someone negotiated in a back room late one night, right? For something, because it is a bit weird. Can they raise that? That's probably a pretty easy one to do, right? I mean, there's far less people making 200,000 in this country than there are making 60, 70, 80,000, right? So it affects less people. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't do that. Just, would it be pretty easy? Probably. Circling back to what I started with, none of those things are popular, right? Whoever recommends that sort of stuff, is it the right thing to do to stabilize the program? Yes. Do they ever get back to Congress or the Senate? Probably not. So who wants to do that?
Right. Yeah,
Right.
It'll be an 11th hour kind of thing, and it's going to be a consensus because we're all going to be standing outside the Capitol with rakes and torches, and they're going to have to listen. It's going to be like the old Frankenstein movie, yeah. So this is certainly something. One of the things about going into retirement is people worry about Social Security. When should I file? How old should I be? When should I get my benefits? What should I do as a spouse with my spouse? There's a lot of different decisions there. And sit down with Jay and talk through that. This is a part of the income planning discussion at Secure Financial Management. If you want to sit down and talk through it, give us a look on our website. Retire210.com is the website. Retire210.com. The first thing that you're going to see there is a big yellow button, and it says, schedule a meeting. And go ahead. And it's an absolutely free meeting. We'll sit down and talk through your concerns about what is going forward for the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Thanks again for listening to the Clear Skies Retirement Podcast. If you want to hear more of this podcast, make sure you hit the follow or subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. We'll see you next time here on the Clear Skies Retirement Podcast with Jay Kirkwood.
Investment advisory services offered through investment advisory representatives at Secure Financial Management, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed are not designed nor intended to be applicable to any person's individual circumstances. It should not be considered as investment advice, nor does it constitute a recommendation that anyone engage in or refrain from a particular course of action. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Secure Financial Management is licensed in your state, please contact their office. Secure Financial Management is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Wholesalers Insurance. Jamin J. Kirkwood, Texas Insurance License number 1421850.